Konnichiwa, welcome. We're here in Taipei for the Summer Universiade. Tell me about your role as a chef de mission as the Rio Olympic team and how that led to your involvement here.
Okay, so the chef de mission role in Rio was a huge honour. It was the first ever female to be chef de mission of an Australian team, so it was a huge honour. But above all else, that chef de mission role is a huge responsibility because, you know, at the end of the day, I was responsible for the health and well-being and safety and performance of 422 athletes and about 450 other officials. So almost 1,000 people that you're responsible for. But it was a great experience. Rio was a very, very challenging games, the most challenging Olympics ever. On many fronts, so it was a challenging experience, but one that we all learnt a lot from, and how we worked as a team really helped us get through some of the challenges there. So my role here at the Summer Universiade, working with AUS Sport, is to try and help, there's a big team here, and some of the learnings and the approach and the processes and the protocols that we have in an Olympic team to try and transfer to the preparation and implementation of a university team, ultimately to help the athletes' performance.
How did you get selected for that role? What experience and attributes made you the best candidate?
Look, I've had a huge amount of passion and respect for the Olympic movement and have done all my life. I didn't get to go to the Olympics as an athlete until 2000 because my sport, modern pentathlon, wasn't in the games for women. But prior to Rio, I'd been media attaché in 1988, a coach and manager in 1996, then an athlete in 2000, then a deputy chef de mission in 2012. So the Olympic movement and the Olympic values is something that I passionately believe in, and I've always sort of donated and volunteered my time working within sport, and being on the AOC executive board enabled me to be appointed as chef de mission.
During that time, what attributes do you think you were able to build up that helped you in your role?
I think for anyone in any leadership or management position in sport, the primary thing that you need to remember at all times is that you're there for the athlete. So in the lead up to Rio and at Rio, every policy, every appointment, every decision, anything that I was responsible for, I always ask myself the question, will this help the boat go quicker? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what we as officials are all here for, to enable our athletes to have the best opportunity to perform at their best. So I think in terms of traits and attributes, that's the primary one, remembering why we're here, and that's for the athlete.
As a senior manager, you would have had to deal with plenty of issues in your time. How do you approach a conflict situation involving your staff or athletes?
I think it's the same response that I just gave, and at the end of the day, we need to provide an environment and a culture conducive to success. But that needs to be balanced by, when you have a large team and sporting team taking away, that the primary factor is safety and health and well-being of the athletes. So that needs to be balanced with their performance. So whenever there is a situation of conflict, it's getting back to, okay, why are we here? We're here to enable to perform, but we're also here to keep you safe and well. And when there is any situation of conflict or disagreement, it's coming back to why we're all here. And that's, again, for the performance of the athlete. So if you have that common higher purpose amongst everybody, I think it helps people stay on track and keeps everyone on the right path.
You touched on it briefly, but how did you set the culture of the entire Rio Olympic team?
You can't create a culture in 16 days of the Olympic Games. You can't create a team in 16 days. So what we did, and for the first time ever, that we actually had touch points with the prospective Olympic athletes for Rio in the 3 years or 2.5 years leading in. We did 2 national road shows where I spoke at every single one of them. We spoke to over 1,200 prospective Olympians. And those roadshows weren't about, the rules or the regulations or the policies. They were about what it means to be a part of the Olympic team, especially in Australia. It's a 120-year-old, very proud history. And it was getting everybody on that same boat, in that same team, with that feeling of one team before we even landed in South America. And that worked really well. And that was evident every day in the village, where every single athlete official in that team was respectful of every other athlete in sport. The other key message was that no one athlete, no one sport was any more important than any other. So a badminton player that no one had ever heard of, no lesser important than a Paddy Mills basketballer. They're all Olympians, and they all deserve to have the best opportunity of success. And that was the culture that we tried to set up.
You would have picked up some things along the way from past leaders you've been influenced by, but how have you developed your own virtues of leadership?
I think the main factors that I suppose contributed to the approach that I took into Rio was my own experience as an athlete. And when I was an athlete in Sydney, I competed in a very low profile sport, modern pentathlon. No one knew what it was. We were on the very last day. No one came to watch me. Everyone in the village was partying the night before my event. I didn't get any sleep. And that's what really drove the approach in me for that one team in that respect. So it was probably more my own experiences being from a low profile sport and always travelling on my own, that sense of team. I never really had that as an athlete, but it's really, really important in order to contribute to success of the overall team.
So what are you passionate about?
Enabling someone to have a dream and to live out that dream, and providing the environment for them to perform at their best, I think is probably what underlies everything that I do. And to test yourself, and that's what sport's about. It's about having a dream, but it's also about setting yourself a test and giving 100% to that test and leaving absolutely no stone unturned. So at the end of the day, win, lose or draw, you can walk away knowing that you went about it the right way, you tried as hard as you could, and you retained your integrity and your values while you were doing it.
You're clearly a very busy person, but how do you wind down and switch off?
Don't really. I don't know. Walk, swim, play golf. But it's good I love being busy. I love having a lot of things going on at the same time. That's what I'm someone who needs to be challenged, who needs to have a lot of things on the go, and I like to feel I'm contributing as much as I can and adding value. I don't do things for the sake of just doing them. I want to try and to leave some sort of legacy and to work with people and to try and develop people and learn and grow and make a difference.
You're the world champion in modern pentathlon for a number of years leading up to the Sydney Olympics. Did the Australian Olympic Committee bring that event in just for you?
I hope so. Well, it paid off, didn't it? Rio last year with Chloe. So I've known Chloe Esposito all her life, so that was my highlight of Rio by far. Having the opportunity to be the first female to compete in modern pentathlon in Sydney, and now being president of the National Federation, knowing Chloe all her life and to see her win that gold medal it was just unheard of for an Australian to win modern pentathlon Olympics, and it was just absolutely fantastic and couldn't have happened to a better family. Just hard work, humility and commitment. It was just a fantastic result.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.